Into the SorareAndrews podcast brought to you by Sorare Data. I am Andrew Laird. You can find me as Lairdinho on Sorare, joined as usual by Andy Black. You can find as Black on Sorare. Andy, I was talking to you about this topic yesterday, and I was like, oh, this is kind of like fun to talk about, blah, blah, blah. There has been some significant enthusiasm for this topic that I was not expecting because I feel like everyone's, oh, U23s are great. I love, trying to scout the next superstars. And I thought like, oh, everybody hates these old guys. There's a lot of love for these old guys. And it makes me feel better.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, old guys need love too, right? Yeah. I'm excited, and I'm glad that other people are excited.
It was, let me see. I was trying to think of, I thought of a topic for this week. Did I even tell you what it was? I don't even remember now. Oh, no, I didn't even tell you. But you were like, I know what we should talk about this week. And you were like, old guys. And I was like, yeah, we should talk about this.
Old guys that are younger than us.
Correct.
certainly younger
than me. Certainly younger than me.
Yeah.
But yes, old guys that are younger than us. Thank you to everybody who has joined us. What's funny is that this enthusiasm for all the old people, I see like Mike Baston's first in here. We've got Chris Dalton, Ryan Dino, Hoodwinks here. Sorare Teacher, the good place. We've got a lot of good people here. I don't know how old they are. Maybe they're older than us. Who knows? Probably not, but
It's possible, yeah.
Possible. So when you wanted to talk about these guys, did you have like someone in particular that maybe his jersey is hanging behind you?
Maybe.
Man, if there was ever a time to not listen to the audio version of the podcast, this is it. Do you want to describe to those who are just able to listen? Oh, although if you're listening on Spotify, the video is there. Just like pick up your phone and look very quickly. But for those who can't, can you describe what's behind you?
Behind me is a Sven Kuhns match-worn autographed kit from, I think, I'm going to go verify real quick.
I remember there was a very specific,
it's the only game on the platform that he scored a 100 in. Game week 260, hosting Leuven. He scored 116 points in that game.
That's incredible.
56 all around and a 60 decisive score. Yeah, pretty incredible.
Did you, before we jump into this topic, although this is on topic, did you think I need to get a jersey from that game? Or was it, you were like, I should get a jersey. I should get something like, oh, they have one from that game. Like, how did that all come together? Because I don't think there's a more like perfect.
I know. So I was like, I need a Sven Kuhns match worn jersey. So I went out to, I think, Match Worn Kit, one of those websites. Mm-hmm. And they happened to have some auctions from, I don't know, Ghent. And, I went out there and found that one from that game, and I was like, oh, I wonder what game that is. When I saw it, I was like, I think he scored a goal in that game or had an assist, and I think it was just an assist. So I ended up like correlating it or whatever, and was like, oh my god, it's the perfect one, and it wasn't like crazy expensive either, so it was like totally worth doing.
I remember Sean bought a Melly Muhlenstein game-worn autographed jersey. And it was like much cheaper than I expected it to be. Like it was like a few low $100.
Yeah.
And I feel like that kind of stuff in the US tends to be just so expensive.
It is.
And I don't know why.
Have you ever been to like a trivia night or like a charity like mouse race or anything, and they auction off that type of stuff?
Yes.
It's always like in St. Louis, it'll be like a Yadier Molina jersey or something. Right. And it'll be like $800, and it's like, okay, I'm not getting that.
Yes, I know.
Would totally be awesome to have, but
that's where I think it is. It's the guys that are like, now Molina is probably like a Hall of Famer at some point, but from where I am, we're in this weird intersection like between Boston and New York. So you get people who are fans of teams from from those two cities. Mm-hmm. And so you can go to like a single event, and they're like, it's a game worn autographed cleat from like one of the New York Giants offensive linemen. and that goes for like $600. And then there's like the Tom Brady used towel that goes for like $1,200, and you're just like, what is this stuff? But like the soccer jerseys, I feel like they're underpriced. I think you found a market inefficiency here.
I don't know. I think there's probably more of them available or something like that. Like there's a bigger, I don't know. Maybe I'm totally wrong. Scarcity, right? Has to do with scarcity.
Surely. Although I would value that Sven Coombs autographed game-worn jersey more than like a Tom Brady game-worn jersey personally. So like maybe this supply and demand's not matching up here.
I will say it's one of the worst things I've ever smelled in my life. It smells awful.
Do you think
smells like he scored 116 Sorare points in it?
Do you think that he signs it right away and they just like throw it into a plastic bag and like that's why it's so musky?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know what the process is behind selling those things. And
I'm gonna have to look into this because Mike Bassman was asking what the shipping was to the U.S. That's a good question too.
I don't remember. It wasn't awful.
Yeah. Well, it's great. It's really great.
Yeah.
I'm jealous now. I'll have to start looking.
Who's the old that you kind of fell in love with?
The one that immediately came to my mind was Hulk. For a variety of reasons. Excuse me. Not one least of which was the fact that I was building lineups or looking at lineups. I was looking at something like when you brought it up, and Hulk has just like murdered my lineups recently. But I'm like, he's old, whatever. And you were like, let's talk about old guys, and I was like, oh yeah, let's do that. Sure. I will say that the definition of old that I used was way too young. And for those of you who are watching or listening, we made a watch list on Sorare Data that includes a bunch of old guys. It's public now. It's linked in the description of this video. And I basically just created a new watch list, changed the aged from the whole thing to 30 plus, and I just clicked a bunch of ads, meaning I added a bunch of players. And so I think I told you that I got to 100 and it was like 150. And then I was like, wait, I said in like when we were talking about this that it was going to be over 30, and I had some 30-year-olds, and I'm like, 30 is not old. So I went over 30, and I still got to 128. And I'm like, this is too many. There's like 31 is very different than like 36. So I kept them on there because it's still easy for us to like change the list so that we can see like the true old guys that we want to.
I think position matters so much too, because like 30 for a center back is kind of like, I feel like that's almost young,
right?
But like, and also like goalkeeper, like 30 is still young.
I definitely thought about just taking goalkeeper out because particularly like it feels like the better ones are good. Like it takes you a while to be good.
The better ones are good?
Yeah. Excuse me. The better ones are old. The better ones are old. Excuse me.
Okay. Gotcha.
I think if you can last long enough, like that's just that's what happens. Like guys who are not that good fizzle out, and obviously that applies in every position, but they can last longer if you're a goalkeeper. So like Neuer is old. Everson is old. Franco Armani's old. And like these guys are old. And I feel like the goalkeepers that we want on the platform are either old or really young. And we take the old guys because they're good, and we take the young guys because they're young, not because they're good. But anyway, there were a bunch of goalies like, I wasn't so thrilled about them. Let me pull it up just because.
While you pull that up, I'm going to let my dog out because she's being bad right now.
Yeah, no, that's very on brand for the show anyway. So for full disclosure, Andy was like worried that his dog was going to like mess up the show, and which is funny because Sean's dogs bark all the time during the strategy show. So anyway, we'll go to the watch lists. We have the SorareAndrews Oldies but Goodies, if anybody is trying to find it later on. And just the way that it came up, like I think Jonas Hector was like the last guy I added, Jonas Hector. And like 32 is not that old. And there's Sven Coombs at 34. So then I was like, all right, we should cut some of this out. And then so I decided to go to 34 because that's where Sven Coombs was, not even knowing that you had this jersey going to be hanging up. So we'll take all the old guys out. Excuse me, all the young guys out. And there are two guys we were talking about anyway, Coombs and Hulk. And
real quick, what's your favorite way to sort this list? Because I had fun sorting it last night, just like playing with the filters and sorting it.
I originally sorted by limited valuation, which I think is actually like the most accurate price for anything on the entire platform.
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh, Ronaldo doesn't have any limited cards, and I like want to fit him in. So then I did the rare valuation, and then I took goalies out. Like I played around with this way much longer than I should have.
Yeah.
But the scores, like, if you just go, let's see, that's the bottom. So how about that? That the lowest L40 of this group is our boy Michael Bradley, but it's still 50. Like 50 is pretty good.
He's better than that.
Well, 58 L5. He's getting better, Andy.
Yeah. Great. I mean, you surround him with some Italians and good things happen, right?
Good things happen. I mean, look at this. 97, 26, 27. Oh, that's the... I'm
not going to lie. I'm really excited. This weekend, I will be traveling to Nashville, and I'll get to see Michael Bradley play in person. So
it's incredible.
Fun. Yeah. Do
you think... like Insigne and Bernadeschi are just in training, just like, man, I cannot believe I get to play with this guy.
Yeah, absolutely. They are in awe.
Former Roma legend, and like, some people prefer Totti, but I get it. There's a reason they came to MLS. Anyway, should we just take the goalkeepers out? Like, there are some people who are throwing in some names, and everybody's like, oh yeah, like I know some old guys, and they name goalies. I forgot Higashiguchi, which is shocking since I own him myself. But
yeah, I think the list is better with no goalkeepers. I mean, I love seeing the Silver Fox in there, and
actually,
Igor's last year I think is this year. But
let's actually just start with them, just to like give them their props. I don't want to ignore them completely. I don't think
that's fair.
But yeah, like Joe Hart's like the most expensive. Is he the most expensive challenger goalie right now? He's got to be up there. Like 2E, that's 35.
Yeah. Not counting U23s. Yeah.
Yes. Scosmo saying, "Where's Payet?" I think Payet's on this list somewhere.
Yeah, he has to be.
He has to be, right?
In fact, I saw him last night because I double checked.
Yeah, but like all of these goalies are like legitimately used in high level competitions, including Steve Mandanda, your boy.
Steve,
you still have him?
I sold Steve when he went to Rennes, right?
He went to Rennes?
Yeah. I don't know. I was told he may not start there, and people were paying prices like he is going to start. So I didn't really want to even play the will he, won't he game. So I was fine getting rid of him. Full
disclosure, I almost bought his limited today.
Okay, I guess he's starting, huh?
No, I'm not. I didn't buy it. I did not buy it. I'm not telling anybody to buy it. Just for the record. But yeah, like Adon, that one hurts.
He's hurt, right?
He is hurt.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that I think he's expected back like in October. It was like 2 months basically. And the number of like, everybody was like, the news was that he wasn't going to require surgery. And like everyone was like, is he too old for surgery? And so it's just not worth it. And then like the old joke started, and then we rolled right into this. Basintiente, I have no idea how to say this person's name. I apologize. But was talking about Carlos Lampe, the 35-year-old best keeper on the platform. You don't have to tell me twice here.
No, he's insane. Like pull his score sheet up. His L15 is insane.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pull the price graph up real quick just to see where. Oh, is that? My gosh.
Well done. Sharp.
Full credit to Trip NB on this one. Danny Brams told me to buy this guy, and I was like, and I bought him. I think he bought just before me. Somewhere, there's our boy Kaiser.
Yeah.
There's Trip NB. 0.18.
I think my favorite thing about his card is that bluish hue to those cards. Like he looks like he's from the Addams Family or something.
Maybe, but yes. Oh, this is a new picture.
Ah, okay.
We got the new Tucumán cards coming out soon. Anyway, look at this guy. I mean, all he does is keep clean sheets. I forget why he missed this game.
That's ridiculous.
COVID, maybe? Oh, wait, we can keep going.
Ooh, a 98.
98 against at River Plate.
Whew.
At River Plate.
And he didn't even
good
save,
River Plate.
Yeah, didn't even save a PK or anything. Just casually gets a clean sheet with 40 AA.
Let's see what this goes.
30 AA.
Look at that. 8 saves, 6 inside the box, 4 diving saves. And he's so old, those take a lot out of you. You got to get up after that.
It's incredible.
I wonder. Oh, I guess that was the new scoring. So he probably got robbed too for that 98.
So I know he played.
90. Oh.
He has international utility too, right?
Colombia?
Is it Colombia or
Bolivia? He was the starter, and then I believe lost the job because he wasn't starting for Velez Sarsfield. But I could be wrong about that. Let's see. Yeah, February is the last time he played. Let's just say he's better domestically than he is.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh, Bassin's saying this is still the Velez picture. Oh, yeah, it is a Velez picture. You're right. The obvious thing that I completely ignored. But anyway, yes, he's the best goalkeeper on the platform. And I would. So I have Adon also. And Adon was supposed to be like my main goalkeeper for like my best lineups all fall. And now I'm like, he got hurt. And I'm like, And I'm like, wait, I already have the best goalie on the platform. I don't need to replace him.
Clearly.
But anyway, it does seem like we're pretty heavy on the South American. I guess actually it's not that heavy. Casio, yeah, they're kind of from all over.
Yeah.
And obviously the Champion Europe ones are the most expensive ones on this.
Somebody mentioned Jailson, and he's not on here, but I think that he lost his job or
yeah,
something.
I didn't think he was starting anymore.
Yeah, or he's
why
but he definitely has like one of the best names on the platform, Jailson.
Yeah. Bullstar brought some guys up in chat, one of which I'm 100% talking about shortly. So don't you worry about that, Bullstar.
I'll be right back. It's hot out and the dog's out. So.
And the dog's out. Okay. So there's really not much else to say about goalkeepers. Like, we get it. They're old. I'm actually just going to go with everyone else now. I don't think we necessarily need to go position by position. Andy will probably come back and be like, no, we should definitely do that. So there's Payet. I knew he was on this list. And I will say that our friend Zarky Poo is a huge Benzema guy and actually complained to me that I didn't use Benzema as like the cover boy for for YouTube. To be honest, like normally he was definitely a thought. But I'm like, I don't do the podcast with you. I do it with Andy, and I know
that's right. And it was a thought, but it was an afterthought.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So, but anyway, you get to this point, and we see some of the best players, like literally on the platform, like Lionel Messi, Benzema. We saw like there's Modric. I think somebody brought that. Shriram brought up Modric in chat. Like he's here. All of these guys, Sigali is one of the ones that Bullstar brought up. That's not the one I was going to talk about. Somebody in chat mentioned Pepe from Porto, old Pepe. So he's here, 39 years young, so close to being my age. When is his birthday? Not that close to my age.
And he still crushes.
All of these guys.
I mean, it helps that he plays for Porto, but
that definitely helps. Yes. But like a lot of these guys are still killing it. And what do we have this set at 34 and above? And I feel like a lot of people stay away from these guys, but they're, per dollar. Like, look at some of these scores. Like Hamšík, who actually just got hurt today.
I hate Higuaín, but man, that L5 is pretty hot, and him with Pozuelo and could they be good? Yeah.
Yeah, he's been good recently. Although he's barely even starting. Yeah. I remember at the beginning of the season, our boy Crypto Kicks, who was like, Higuaín's taking sets in preseason. And I'm like, there is no way I'm buying Gonzalo Higuaín. Like, it ain't happening. But it's a lot of greens.
It is.
Like, it's a lot of yellows and DNPs, but
yeah, it just seems like you're either getting the decisives or you're not. Like even with sets and corner. I know he takes a lot of corners. I don't know how many other sets he takes, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like his AA is really holding up all that well.
Yeah,
I see Bedoya being mentioned in chat, and he just banged a 100.
So did I pass him already?
No, I mean he's on the list. I don't know where on the list, but
so Bedoya is a player that I thought about buying his super rare once, and I was just like, because I'm like, his scores aren't great for a rare, but they're helpful as a super rare, and I never did it because I was like, this guy's really not that good, and yeah, he's coming off 100, but I don't know, that was his first above 90.
Yeah,
he's fine.
Yeah. He had that other game, the 7-goal game, I think. Yeah, the 7-0 DC game that he banged nearly 90.
Yeah. Yeah, he's fine. He's fine. Here's Pedro Santos, who at one time was called the second best midfielder in all of Major League Soccer by somebody who does a Sorare Data strategy show that's not named Andrew.
Second best? Who was the first best?
Carlos Heel?
Ugh. Is he on this list? No, he's not.
No, he's too young. So
and too soft. too weak.
So the two guys at the bottom here, I forget how did I sort this by price? I did. So one of which you like and the other one I like, but you actually have the one that you like. Masato Morishige, who Sean is also a big fan. And do you have his super rare?
Nah, just the rare.
You just went with the straight up Tokyo stack because you had Slowick, right?
I got him and Slowick, yeah. I think Slowick had COVID this week, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know. I got a DMP.
Go Hitano returned. Hadn't heard that name in quite a while.
You still own Go?
No. I sold him before the season. His price had halved, and I still couldn't believe people were buying him. And so I was like, I got to post him. And yeah, I'll happily take it. But yeah, what's
I think old age is catching up to him this season, though. If you scroll down, it looks like he started off real hot, and Morishige's kind of fallen off a little bit.
I think wasn't there a COVID? Didn't he have COVID?
I don't know.
Anybody in chat now? I thought Morishige had COVID, or maybe he was hurt. There was something happened, and yes, it looks like it's taken a while for him to come back, but he's pretty solid. What is he? 36, 35, aging him more than I should. Apologies for that. But yeah, it's he's great, but he's not as good as the true River Plate Enzo Perez. So Enzo is, I believe, the most underpriced player on the entire platform.
Oh, damn.
Nobody else.
Here's the problem. That I don't know that much about Enzo, but just looking at the L5, L15, and L40, the 60%, 67%, and 68% have me concerned.
Now, if you saw that, would you just assume it's old age?
I would assume that he's rotated because he's older and can't play in all competitions.
So I believe he was definitely hurt recently. Those are these recent DNPs and the 12-minute sub came back. And of course he bangs out a 69 in a loss when he comes back.
Nice.
But just look at this and I'm going to do what you shouldn't do. I'm going to take the DNPs out.
Ah, you can't do that.
Look at this graph though.
That looks
Look
like
at
a
it.
Mike. That looks like a Michael Bradley graph right
No,
there.
Michael Bradley could never.
Yeah,
Absolutely could never.
because he plays every game. He plays through
That's
injury.
fair
He
point,
plays
fair
through
point.
anything. It's 100% games for Michael Bradley.
But if you notice, all of these scores with anywhere from like 10 to 38 AA scores, there are no decisives,
Mm-hmm.
which some people would be like, oh, that's bad. But look at these scores.
I would be like, that's bad.
Oh,
And don't give me the if he could just add a few decisives into his game.
That is my favorite line on Sorare. If this guy could just get a few decisives after taking 3 shots in the first 10 years of his career, he could really pop off. Yeah, no. So the other reason that this Enzo, the true Enzo, is the true Enzo is because of this fantastic specialty card.
Oh,
yes.
yes.
Super rare because it's just easier to find. So there was a COVID outbreak at River Plate. I forget when the game even was.
Like a year ago.
Yeah. Actually, it was probably right after this card was sold. May of 2021. And they had no goalkeepers. And Enzo was like, I'll play goalkeeper. And the dude got a clean sheet. And somehow, after years of people asking for like
Did he got a clean
cards,
sheet?
What's that?
He got a clean sheet?
I think so. You know what? He might have let up one. Now that I say that,
But I think they played the game too with 10 guys, right? It was like he was in goal and they didn't have enough guys either. There was something really weird with that game.
What did I say? May of last year, right? We'll just. Oh wait, I got to go all the way back. Come on. Anyway, so whether he got the clean sheet or not, why can't I? Oh, here it is. Oh, you're right. He did let up a goal. Frankly, didn't. That's probably his midfielder score.
That's hilarious.
But anyway, the guy moves from center mid to goalkeeper, gets a win for River Plate, and they make this special card of him in the goalie kit with the thumbs up. And people who know me know that I love a good thumbs up card. And so they made 3 of these, 1 super rare and 2 rares. And one of the rares was auctioned. The super rare was auctioned. One of the rares was auctioned, and the other rare was supposed to be given away to a River Plate supporter. Sorare still owns that card. So I have to figure out a way to move to Argentina, become a River Plate fan, and get this card because I like it so much. But anyway.
It's a great plan. And I actually sent an offer to the one that's in the Sorare account. And then you did? Okay. Did you also DM a community manager over there?
I did not.
I asked about it, and he was like, no, we won't accept offers on this.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Jose reminded me that it was a Libertadores game as well. Huge pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see a Joshua Kimmich goalkeeper card anywhere.
I don't either.
I'm just saying. It's not there.
Here's what bothers me most about that card. Wouldn't it be better if it was a goalkeeper card?
I brought that up like almost immediately.
Yeah.
But I don't care. I just love it.
Yeah, it's still awesome.
I just love it. River Plate was the first team I ever stacked on Sorare, and somehow I have gone without an Enzo Perez card.
Out of curiosity, if the card was a goalkeeper card, what would that do to its, like, I guess pull up his scores as goalkeeper? Like, I wonder, as ridiculous and absurd as it sounds, like, I wonder what that would do to his scores.
I think the problem is, particularly with the new scoring, is that he wouldn't get any, like, he doesn't make any saves.
Right. Okay. You only get the clean sheet points, but
pretty much only the clean sheet points, yeah.
Yeah.
And a few passes here and there, but like, it's not an elite goalkeeper card.
Right. Now, what about the other way around? Like, if you ever had a player that like came up as a goalkeeper and then he switched to like a position player or something, I don't know.
So like,
I guess there's a
Franco Armani midfielder card.
No, but like you're
But he
not
has
going
to
to
actually
get.
play it as a midfielder.
Yeah, you're not going to get the stats. So I don't know. It's fun to think about, but I really do feel like it'll happen someday. Like maybe Fred Emmings will not translate into a great goalkeeper, but they'll be like, wow, he's a great target man. He's a great number 9. And Fred Emmings will be the new striker, and I can play him at goalkeeper, and he's going to get all these goals. And, what do you think?
It's kind of like in baseball how like everyone comes up as like a shortstop or a catcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're onto something here.
Mm. Baseball is going to be funny with position changes. Like I remember there were at least one player back with the Cardinals, Jason Mott, came up as a catcher, and then he became our closer. But I could totally see things where it's like they meant a card as one position, they changed to something completely different, and like Rick Ankiel, for example.
Yeah.
That's the name you're probably familiar with. I mean, a guy that totally changed positions and kind of it would totally flip the matrix on its head. And I would love to see that in Sorare. With that said, the goalkeeper that was taking PKs for Rosario Central.
Servio.
I mean, I know that we're totally off topic now, and like
he was too young for the list.
No, he's 30. He's 30. We're good.
But I said over 30. But I guess since he turned 30 on March 8th, so he's actually 31.
We're on topic. If he keeps taking PKs, is he like an elite goalkeeper?
No.
No?
No. Did you see his next game?
No.
Everybody was sharing it today. This is one of the greatest 2-game price graphs or score graphs you will ever see.
I see the 100. Oh! Wow.
So for those not watching,
that's new matrix scoring though.
Yes, this is new matrix. You're right.
Mm-hmm. See, it's a little better.
Which infuriates me. But like anyway, so Gasper Servio from Rosario, who starts over a guy that I won, who was a U23 goalie who I won as a tier 1 and never started again. Scored 100 2 game weeks ago, last midweek.
108.
108, that's right. By scoring 2 penalties and holding the clean sheet. He then lost 3-0 and conceded a penalty, scoring 19.3 in that game with the new scoring matrix because we can finally have multiple negative decisives, which he would have gotten with the 3 goals allowed, minus the 3 goals he allowed anyway, and the conceded penalty. He would have had 1. So a 99-point difference. And it's beautiful. I love it. The other thing I love about this card, I'm glad you brought this up so that I could talk about this again because I love talking about it. I discussed it with our friend Gator Guy because he put me onto Servio like a month ago for Specialist. And I did exactly what I do every time with Specialist. I was like, all right, I'll get this guy. And as soon as lock comes, I'll post it. And as soon as lock came, like the floor was already below where I bought him. And I was like, decided not to take the loss on it. And I was like, I'll just hold it. Okay. Like he's not good, but he's fine. And I was like, I'll just hold it. And then the guy goes, so here I have it, 0.085. And like literally, so this was all probably the same day. And then it immediately went down. Yeah. And then it just keeps kind of trending down. I think he was Specialist eligible again. So he trended a little bit. And then bang, he scores 100.
Yeah.
And I can get out.
Love it.
Anyway. But he's too young for our conversation here.
Yeah.
Back to Enzo, or at least. Bullstar said that he I have to find it in the chat now because it was such a great line. He calls Enzo the king of thresholds. I love it. Absolutely love it. So all of these guys are like it's super helpful. Like they're not great. I mean, some of them are great. Don't get me wrong.
Most of them are great.
Osmar. So
yeah, he's out for a bit, right?
Yeah, he's been out for a bit. So I have Osmar super rare, and he got hurt, and I thought he was older than he was, but I remember when he got hurt, I was like, oh man, could this like be the end? I'm like, oh, he's 34. Like I'm sure he'll be fine. But that's what I think about with these guys. Anytime there's an injury, it's like, ooh, could that be the last one? I think Higuain's retiring, isn't he?
Is he? I don't know.
I thought he announced he was retiring.
Wants to join his brother in retirement, I guess.
Exactly. So one guy on this, I mean, I think all of these guys generally are overlooked except, Hulk and Benzema and Messi.
Right.
Is Juan Cuadrado.
Yeah.
Who is someone that a card I bought a while ago and immediately had to sell because I bought the wrong one because he has midfielder and defender cards. But
which one's better?
The defender is better.
Okay.
So these are his defender scores. So he's like a 58 over the last year, and it drops to just under 56 as a midfielder. Yeah. So you definitely want the defender card, which I'm actually not even sure I ended up with a defender one. But these are pretty great scores for a guy who nobody really thinks about. And a pretty impressive all around from a wing position. But yeah, Cuadrado had to be on the list for me.
Yeah. Mike Baston mentioned Bradley Guzan, speaking of an old guy with a bad injury and hopes of coming back.
He said he's coming back.
Yeah, he says he is. We'll see.
Do you think you'd have any worries coming back and playing on the same artificial turf that has ruined other people's careers?
Oh yeah, of course. Although at that age, it's honestly, who gives a shit? I blew out my
just house money at that point,
right? I don't know. If I were Miles Robinson and I just tore was he Achilles or ACL?
Yeah, both of them were Achilles, weren't they?
I think that's
he might have been ACL. You're right.
But at his age, I would be all right, time to move on and maybe not play on this surface. They've had 3 or 4 guys on that surface get hurt, like Henman. They had someone else this year too that I'm not thinking of, but 4 really bad injuries in a short time frame.
Was it someone on Atlanta or was it a visiting player?
I thought it was someone on Atlanta.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember who it was, but I do remember somebody like that. Hatanas brought up that Cuadrado is not going to be as good because Di Maria is there. Also an old guy, Di Maria.
Yes. Yes, another old guy. We can talk about it.
I have this sorted now by L40, which I'm surprised Di Maria is so low.
I've wanted to buy Di Maria multiple times now, and something that's come up with me, and this is an important, I think, discussion point when it comes to olds is when are they too old to when do you start fearing that they're going to retire on you?
Yeah, that's a good one. Jose just brought up Ozzy Alonso and Mike brought up Brooks Lennon is getting hurt in Atlanta. Those both sound correct. So I'll bring that up. The thing with Di Maria and really with all of these guys is I feel like they all make us think too far into the future. And we always kind of joke that when you have U23 guys, you're oh, I have 14 years of utility for this card. But we really shouldn't be thinking beyond this season. You can, I get it. But if you're planning next season already, I think it's too much. And so as long as a guy is signed through this year, and with Di Maria, the season just started, he just signed with Juve, I think it's fine. I don't think he's too old. And if he retires, that's a bummer. Hopefully you won enough before he retired.
I 100% agree. I feel the price is generally already priced in. So you're getting a deal on a guy that potentially not saying that Di Maria is going to definitely set the world on fire. But the quality of the player that you're getting. He's somebody that's really strong, talented, whatever, scores well in the Matrix. And the price is certainly not the same as somebody that's 25 years old and doing the same thing. So it's priced in. If he retires at the end of the season, whatever, you had a discounted great player anyways.
So this is the. I'm so glad I did this. I went to his similar players, and I took off the same age range filter.
Yeah.
And the first guy that pops up is Jedson Fernandez. I mean,
When did I've never seen that toggle there, the same age range. That's cool.
oh really?
Yeah.
It's been there for months.
There's always things in Sorare data that I've not noticed or like skimmed past, and there's another one.
There's another one. Yes. So for those of you who are just watching, it's right in this section right here, same age range. It defaults to the same age range. So if you're looking at U23s, you want younger guys. But I wanted to see like if Di Maria was 25 or 23, what kind of scores is he getting? And there's a Jedson right there. Edward Spurzian is also like a great one. Oh, Pedri, I've heard of him. He's pretty good. Verratti, Zelarayan. I mean, look at these guys are great.
What's in the formula that decides that the players are similar?
It's like a point threshold plus and minus above the L15, 515 or 40, whatever you want.
That's disappointing. I was hoping it was like HG's secret sauce.
Well, that's what I have to tell people. Obviously, there's a secret sauce, but I have to tell people because they're like, "Oh, I get it now." People don't understand real math, so
that's right.
Yep,
it's an algorithm.
It's an algorithm. Yeah, but yeah, Di Maria. I mean, that's pretty good company.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Tango used to be good for SO5.
I think Kunimoto used to be good for SO5. Not anymore.
Eesh. Where is he now? Just gone.
Spent a little bit too much time drinking, I think.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And driving.
Right. That was the bad part, actually.
Yes.
I forgot about that. Yeah. That was actually fun. Not the drinking and driving. The looking up the sewer.
That sounded horrible.
That sounded really bad. Sorry about that, everyone. Do you own a Christian Noboa? This seems like one of these random guys that you might have had at one.
No, but I remember there was a game week where I was winning something. I don't remember what it was. And this was one of the guys that I was sweating. And he had a game where he scored like 2 goals. And then I think he got a red card like later in the game.
Oh, I remember you sweating that.
And it like saved the day. And like I ended up like winning something. That might be it against Spartak, where he scored a goal and then ended up getting the red. And I don't know. That was a fun one though. But
that's a monster score to 26.6 AA.
It was at that point that I was like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Like I need to own this guy. And I don't own him, but like I know that there's some listeners that have lots involved in the Russian and like Austrian leagues. I've been trying to like distance myself from them because it doesn't make sense for like my gallery. The breaks that they have don't make sense with like what I have. But I know that there's like lots of edge in those leagues, especially Russia, I think.
I agree with you there. I tried to convince myself that the World Cup would like lessen it this year.
Yeah.
And it still just really doesn't.
Yeah.
Like one of them, if not both, like don't come back until like mid-February. And
it's like by then you almost have your MLS guys back anyway. So it's like for us American players that I think that their break is too close to the MLS's break. And it's like, for me, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I just know that like when it's happening, you're just like, oh, it's like another like 6 weeks. It's not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we all know 6 weeks, real life 6 weeks in Sorare is just.
It's longer than 6 weeks, isn't it? I thought it was like all of December, all of January.
Oh, I was thinking 6 weeks after the World Cup.
Gotcha.
But it might even be longer than that. I mean, look at this. Noboa's similar players. Treble, Gonzalo Montes, Jedson, Enzo. I mean, is your boy Montero?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just get the old guys, man. Thiago Almada. So
That guy's disgusting. He's 37?
37.
He doesn't look 37, first of
No,
all.
just turned 37.
He's got that bleached hair. That's
Yeah.
a young look.
Yeah. It's isn't Sochi right on the water? I'm pretty sure Sochi's like a beach resort.
I think it is.
Yeah, so he's just
The only reason I know that is from the Olympics.
from the Olympics. Yeah. Yeah, so I get it. You got to do what you got to do to stay young.
Mm-hmm.
Jose said it's like dog years, man. Just over time. Yeah, I think. Yeah. I was going to say something different to you, and now I've completely forgotten what it was.
Darn. I was just looking at the watch list, and I saw Balotelli on there. You know what blows my mind? He's only 31.
Yeah.
Like, he almost doesn't belong on the list.
Well, it's players like that made me think like that's not young enough. Yeah. I mean, excuse me, they're not old enough. And so like De Bruyne is not, nobody thinks he's old.
Right.
And so I was like, over 30 is not old enough.
Do you think Tadic is old?
30? He comes off to me as old.
I think he's old.
But I only say that because it feels like he was in the Premier League so long ago. I mean, I guess he was.
I mean, Lewandowski's same age. Do you think he's old?
I kind of do.
Yeah.
But like, and I think like Danny Parejo is kind of old. Like I think of him as old.
What's funny is
Cruz is really old, and he's younger than all the guys we just mentioned.
What's funny is I think Danny Parejo feels like he's 40.
Yeah.
And all the other guys feel like they're 30.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Yeah. I don't know what it is about Parejo. Yeah.
Like I feel like I could buy Tadic or De Bruyne, Benzema, Lewandowski, and I still have like 3 or 4 more years of utility.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like if I buy Parejo, he could die tomorrow.
Oh my gosh. John Nellis is turning over in his grave right now.
I know.
Can't believe what he's hearing. No, this guy, I mean, he's just, all he does is
a stud. He's a stud.
Back scores, yeah. But yeah, I just thought guys like that, and I was just like, we can't have a conversation about old guys and talk about.
Like Virgil van Dijk has like 10 more years of utility. Like
exactly.
Yeah. At least.
Daley Blind to 32 was surprising to me. I thought he was like 30. Like he feels like he's 35, 36 to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so then it was like if we were going to talk about it, like where do we then make the secondary line? Like is it 34? Is it 35? And then I was pretty much going through the list, and I was like, if there was a 34-year-old who I was like, no, that guy's still too young, then I would make it 35. And I don't think like Cecina, he's not old. Maxi Morales is old.
Yes, and he like what happened? I heard he got
Nobody
hurt.
knows.
Nobody knows. Okay.
Actually, the only thing that I heard is that it was something with his back, and I was like, that happens to old people.
Yes, it does.
Old people have bad backs.
It definitely does. He'll be on muscle relaxers for the next 2 weeks, and we'll see what happens.
Right. Like he should be on some sort of icy hot commercial now because that's what you need when you get old. Sebastian Coates, shockingly 31.
That's young. Center back, he's young.
But I thought he was like 35.
Yeah.
Like I knew he wasn't. Maybe I knew he wasn't 35, but like 31 was young to me. Otamendi felt old, so I was like 34. Okay, I get it. Immobile feels kind of old. Like I feel like Immobile is too old now to be linked to clubs better than where he is now, and that's why he stays there because he's too old. Like that's the reason.
So that actually brings up a discussion point that I was thinking about earlier today. That's kind of a nice thing about old guys is they're not like ambitious enough to go to like a tougher spot. They're only going to go to a weaker spot or a weaker league. So that's another advantage of buying these olds is like, sure, you buy Immobile and, maybe his performance goes down a little bit in Serie A. Come on over to the MLS. We'll see how you do.
Yeah. There's Lorenzo Insigne, 31. He's doing just that.
Yep.
Living that lifelong dream of playing with Michael Bradley. I get it. But yeah, some of these, like Iago Aspas, I knew was old. He's probably in the conversation with Enzo, with true Enzo, of like the most underpriced players.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Like it's pretty good.
What's his floor though for like rare limited?
0.5. Oh,
Okay, yeah.
0.05 for the limiteds.
He's not cheap enough.
Somehow his price has gone up 10% in 1 hour.
Yeah. I guess Pizza decided he was worth more.
Just needed it. But look at that. Robert Lewandowski is a similar player. He's good.
Yeah. Chiellini, Mike mentioned.
He sucks.
But do you think he will in the MLS?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
We'll see.
I like actually think he's going to be awful. That one felt like one of guys, like that felt like a retirement move. And like some of these other ones don't totally feel that way. But that one felt like, let me just hang out in LA for a little bit and I don't have to worry about the World Cup. So yeah, I'll just hang out.
He about scored a goal in that first game. Hit the post.
He'll do something.
Yeah.
Darwin Quintero is one that was always like, he's old. What is he, 34? He'll be 35 next month. And like he just churns. Simple as that. I bet we see some killer players. No pun intended here.
Sebastian Villa, killer players. Potentially.
Allegedly. Yuma, Gator Guy's boy Diego Rubio. Rubio is actually very overlooked, but he's 29, so I won't say his name again.
Too young.
Oh, there's Vinicius. Look at that. Iago Aspas, same player as Vinicius.
That's ridiculous.
But yeah, so like some of these guys like Vela.
He belongs on the list.
So
he's definitely he's put on weight. He looks old. He's definitely rocking the dad bod. You know, he's on the list.
I didn't want to give him the benefit of the doubt of being old just because he's lazy. I don't want to say he's lazy, but just because he doesn't want to work anymore.
I think that's the definition of lazy, right? Yeah.
I have a whatever.
He's been great.
Yeah,
I regret not buying Vela. I don't know, earlier this year, but I was half convinced he was just going to retire on us and just be like,
as I sold him.
Yeah.
When was this? May 27th. I sold him. Let's see his score since then. I bet he's just absolutely right here. 78, 96, the old DNP for the short week. I remember that.
Yeah, he didn't feel like playing. Yeah.
Yep. 83, yeah, in Vancouver. 83, 53, 41, 84. Yeah, just absolutely crushing since I sold him. This is why manager watch lists exist. So you can see who I sell and then go buy them. Here's a good one for you. Is Nicholas Ladero old?
I mean, there's the badge. Yeah, he's old. He was out all of last year with knee injuries. He's old.
He didn't retire though.
No, and he's played every freaking game. And we'll probably
90 minutes every game.
We'll probably start again tonight. When he shouldn't. I disgustingly put him in like my best lineup this week because it's a short, like a midweek, and I don't have like a ton of stuff available. But I was like, what the hell? He'll probably end up playing.
Do you think
if I were Schmetzer, I would not be starting him as much as I'm starting him? Like his number of minutes is too high, I feel like.
So L15 Is he really only at 7-2? That can't be right. 700 minutes in the last 15. He didn't miss any games.
Doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
I feel like he started every single one of those games.
I mean, he for sure has. 90,
Yeah.
90, 90, 90, blah, blah, blah. Oh, 80. Here's an 88.
88. Yeah.
Gosh. Do you just feel like you're on borrowed time with him?
Yeah.
You know who doesn't feel that way? The Seattle Sounders.
But here's the deal: like, sure, you can sell a guy like that, and like it's already like his age and kind of what is known is already kind of priced in. So I feel like just use him until he retires is where I'm at on him.
I picked the wrong Miura. Hold on. There he is.
King Kazu.
So he is not playing. Like, is he actually? No, he's not playing anymore. Okay. Oh, he finished at the end of last year. So 55. I don't know if we'll ever get somebody that close. Hoodwink says Yasuhito Endo, 42. Help me out here, Endo. Or Hendo. Hoodwink.
There he is, the Jolta.
Oh, Yasuhito. 34. What do you mean?
Maybe that's the wrong one. That guy's relegated anyways. He's
Here he is. Here he is. Yeah, those are pretty good scores.
He's got young hair, like that looks like
that's what you got to do.
Early 20s hairstyle.
Is that real?
You think it's a toupee?
I don't know. Somebody mentioned
he's pretty good.
It's not bad. This is when we find out similar players are like Joey Veerman.
Yeah.
Morioka. There you go.
Morioka, perfect.
Pedro Santos. Arsenal's got to be thrilled that they paid Martin Odegaard all that money when they could have had Yasuhito Endo.
That's terrible.
Edson Alvarez. Oh, there's Key. Oh,
Frankie. Yes.
What are we doing here?
That's brilliant.
What are we doing? Dennis Meyer pointed out that the top 3 ranked starting pitchers in Major League Baseball are 34, 39, and 35.
I mean, that's a fun topic. Like people that are kind of branching from Sorare soccer into baseball.
Football.
Like, soccer. It's called soccer. Is like the age on some of these baseball players can be quite old. Although, like, it's weird. You do see some of these, like, goalkeepers and stuff and center backs get up to 40. I don't feel like you see a ton of 40-year-old baseball players.
It does seem like they're a lot between 35 and 39, and at 40, they're just like, all right.
Yeah. And I think that there's certain positions where you see a little bit more of it. Like, you probably don't see a ton of outfielders in their 40s, but like DH and pitchers and stuff like that. Molina's a weird one because he's nearly 40 and he's still catching.
At that position is nuts.
Yeah. And the other weird thing about baseball is like, how old is Aaron Judge?
28-ish? 30, excuse me.
He's 30?
Apparently.
Isn't he considered like a young?
He's still on he hasn't signed his contract yet. Like he's still in his arbitration years.
Yeah, like
late bloomer.
That's how crazy baseball is it's like that's considered like a still like a pretty young talent. Like he you're right, he doesn't have his big contract yet. He still has one big contract coming. Pujols is a weird one because he's I don't know. He signed that weird. He signed that crazy contract with the Angels, and but yeah, and then we also talked about the like the size of some of these baseball players.
Yes.
And
Makes you really question the athleticism of baseball.
Well, you go from soccer where all the guys have to be like low body fat percentage, and then you look at some of these pitchers and like first baseman, DHs, and it's like they're large men.
Yeah. They chose like the one sport other than golf that like doesn't require much running.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I would love a John Daly Sorare card, by the way.
Not a baseball podcast here.
That's right.
So, did you play the over 32 specialist a few weeks ago?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I think that should be like an every week competition, sitting alongside U23. Like minus the specialist part. Just have an over 35 men's league. That's like that needs to exist.
It's like people had a blast with that one.
Yeah.
And the specialist part of it ruined it completely for me because it was like, oh, let me go find 2 old guys who average less than 40 fantasy points. And then what am I doing with this card now?
Yeah.
But I completely agree with you. I think 32 is too young.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it separates it enough. Like, if
what's funny is goalkeeper becomes the easy part. Like all these other competitions they've done, like U23, specialist, underdog, all those, goalkeeper is so hard to fill in. But if you do an over 34, over 35 men's league or whatever, like, oh, now goalkeeper's the easy part. I got to figure out a way to get a forward to fit into this lineup.
Right. No, I totally agree that it should be like a regular tournament every week. I think the number is 33. I think 32 was too young.
Yeah, I think that's
because I don't know. Over 30, I want to go over 32. I do love, but also hate the fact that it was like, oh wait, it's over 33 if it was before July 1st. Like, we have birth dates for these guys. We should be able to figure that out. But anyway.
I think the fun part, too, is it baits people to use their Messis, Tadic's, Lewandowski's into this other tournament.
Yes.
So that they can win more old guys like that. And it makes the other tournaments a little softer because those guys are not – you're not seeing as many of those players in those divisions. But then also, too, you have this new division where, you can use some of these older guys and,
Would you play if the rewards were only over 32 guys, though?
Hell yeah. I mean, look at the screen right now. Oh, I can win Tadic, Messi, Benzema, Lewandowski, Cruz, Parejo, Payet. Yes, I'm playing.
Oh, yeah. Let me – hold on. Because although I did say that I thought Cruz was old, I think 33 is the right number.
Yeah, I mean, same story.
But
same
those guys are the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sin Jin Ho, a few people brought him up. I thought it was Sin Jin Ho. Maybe it wasn't. But he should be brought up with these scores.
Yeah, he's solid.
Yeah, that's solid. But yeah, I agree that it should be an every week thing. And I think it's okay if we got rid of like the three klee, or the four klee.
God. The whole thing with switching underdog to where they don't have the goalkeepers anymore, like, I get it, that sucks, and it is hard to find goalkeepers that fit into those things, but that's part of the thing. Like that, I felt like that was part of the game. Now it's so watered down. It's like, oh, I just picked 4 guys. Like,
there are plenty of goalkeepers who average fewer than 50. Like when they moved underdog to 50,
yeah,
it was like you could play anybody. The goalkeeper's not a problem there.
Right.
Just call it the Forkley. You know how many people like still don't know the rules?
It's stupid.
Or they're like, I don't know, I can't submit my lineup because I have 5 rares. And you're like, you're right. You need to have a common or anything other than, and just like, but yeah, over 32, over 33, whatever we want to call it, that should be every single game week.
Yep. Agree.
Why not? Bullstar was mentioning Jacob Jansher, who I agree is incredible.
Damn.
Just scores all the time. Just pretty much never goes more than like 3 games without a decisive. Most times, not even 2.
I feel like this is a guy that I should buy.
Austria, though.
He's kind of expensive, though. Yeah.
He should be.
And what's the little red cross next to him? He's hurt right now, or what's going on there?
Yes, he is hurt right now.
Muscle fiber.
He's got some torn muscle fibers somewhere.
Uh-oh.
Used to be cheap. You missed out.
I want a guy today with a weird injury. Warmed Omari. It said that
yeah. It's a good card, though.
It is a good card, but I Googled his injury and I was a little bit fearful for his manhood.
Oh. I don't even know what that's supposed to imply.
Well, I was hoping you would type in Omari in the
Excuse me.
That's
not what you think it means.
Pubalgia.
Yeah. That's what Juni Ito has.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That doesn't seem great.
Yeah, it's not what you it's not what you think it is.
I don't know. It says it's a chronic groin lesion.
Yeah, but it's like leg, not yeah. Not an ideal injury. I will give you that.
Okay.
Good win on that though. He's good.
Yeah. But he has a groin lesion.
Yeah. I bet there's some old guy. Yeah, Fabian. Oh, he's 30. Look at that.
Gabriel. All right.
Bart Van Hintem, 35, scoring like this guy.
Ooh, Bart's a good one. But I guess he didn't quite make the list, did he?
Who?
Bart.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Maybe he is on the list.
He doesn't look that good. Maybe that's why.
L40 of 52, right?
Yeah, that's not bad, actually. You're right. Yeah, these are just guys. Oh, John Brooks still without a team. Anyway.
San Jose rumors, though. That's what I saw today.
Ooh, that's a team.
Potentially.
Yeah. That's all I have to say about that. Yeah. Oh, Bigley is the last one I wanted to talk about. Because I think he signed a new deal this past offseason. But, like, he was way too cheap. And everyone was like, he's way too old. Like, age was, like, the reason that nobody wanted him.
Yeah.
And it was understandable because he's now 36. He'll be 37 in January. But as long as we're playing the game, like, if you like scores between 60 and 80, it seems like he'd be a nice player to have.
Yeah.
That's all. Quinny's asking if he missed the Charlie Mulgrew section. I believe Charlie is on the list because I actually went to buy him the other day.
He is on the list.
Yeah, he is on the list. How did he do on this game? 45? Okay, that doesn't make me tilt that too much. Do you remember when I told you I was going to make a Dundee stack?
I think so. Yeah, and I was like, why the hell would you do that?
Yeah, you were like, you shouldn't do that. And I was like, no, I can get. I thought to myself, I can get this Charlie Mulgrew guy.
What was the stack going to be? Like, who all is involved in that stack? I assume you got Tony in that.
Tony Watt, obviously. Tony's the reason I was like, let me just get 4 more of these Dundee guys. But I don't think their goalie is minted. And Mulgrew scores like pretty good, but I wanted to get Dylan Levitt, who's like their do everything.
Yeah.
Under 23, but he's old now. I mean, he's old now. He's expensive now. He's young. He's young, which is why we can't talk about him.
Right.
But yeah, I was going to get, I had Tony, I was going to do Mulgrew, Levitt, and then I got that. And I was like, oh, Ian Harkes, he's American. That would be fun. And then I'm like, what am I doing?
Is that John Harkes' son? Ah, okay, that's cool.
Yeah. but I couldn't get myself to do it. Someone in chat said, imagine owning Tony Watt's unique. But I'd say you have a better one, Andy.
I might, yeah.
I could only manage the Tony Watt jersey mint, limited jersey mint. Special thank you to Dazzler for selling me that card. He definitely didn't want to. And where's yours?
Somewhere in there.
There it is. Look at that card.
It's pretty cool. I used him this week alongside Sven Coombs, and I don't think Johnny Russell was in that lineup, but it was an Olds lineup, and Slowick got the DMP for me at goalkeeper. Oh. But that assist that came through for Sven Coombs got me the threshold, so I was pretty happy with that.
There we go.
Yeah.
Quinny says he has the Mulgrew unique and a Hark super rare.
That's cool.
Yeah, I wish I had known. I would have absolutely bought the Mulgrew had I known he had the unique. So let's see. So is this past weekend All-Star Rare?
Yeah.
Look at that. And Georgi Mihailovic there to take the garbage out.
Oh, look at that. Masato's, Morshicki's in there too. Georgie, I got a young in there.
It's actually pretty young. He could have 20 years left in Japan.
Yeah, he could. He could.
Yeah, that's fun. I like those cards are fun to see like on the platform.
They are. It's fun to just like look at your lineup and see that in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Now that we're completely off topic, I am going to bring up. Is he not going to come up here? Oh, Skylar's going to kill me doing this. Got the Brad Stuver autograph card.
He's got like 3 or 4 of them though.
He had, so that's why I wanted to bring it up. Stuver's new season rare just got released, and he was trying to get it. But Skylar changes his Sorare name so often that I just lose what he actually calls himself these days.
All cards for sale.
No, it's much more creative than that.
We enjoyed the status updates of someone had an out of the office message on their Sorare username. So
he usually does one lineup every week, and he doesn't just do it. Oh, he has this Driuzzi, champion card that he has occasionally played, but he has the Gressel.
Ooh, I like that Gressel card.
And then he's also has. Did he not play it this past game week? Of course, I bring it all up, and then he doesn't play it. But he has a Lewis Morgan autograph. So like there was one where he had the Stuver, Gressel, Morgan autographs, the Driuzzi champion card, and something else. I forget what it was, but and Quinny, yes, you did miss the King Lampe section. There was plenty of that at the beginning.
Yes.
Somehow
lots of this. We're not worthy.
Right. Anyway. So yeah, I think it's enough of the olds. They probably have to get to sleep now since they're so.
I don't know. There's never enough of the olds, and I think that we could do like 3 or 4 more podcasts on over 30, over 35, over 34. Like we'll figure it out.
I think I'm going to start becoming really obnoxious to Sorare until they open up an every week over 32 or over 33 competition.
I love it. Yes.
Because we need it. Simple as that.
Where else am I going to play my Corinthians over 36 stack?
So I'm going to bring one more thing up then. I won Tier 3 U23 rare this past game week. And the guy was from Corinthians. And I'm like, how is this possible? I thought everyone they had was 50. And yet here I am getting, and then you know what? The dude doesn't play.
Yeah, of course not, because they play all the olds.
Yeah. Oh, well. All right. I'm going to cut us off there. Thank you to everybody who has joined us live. This was a lot of fun, and probably a lot more fun than I was expecting to talk about old people, maybe because I'm old and I get to talk about these people who, again, are still much younger than me. So thank you to everybody who has joined us in chat. If you guys would please hit the like button on the video, that's always helpful and appreciated. I'm looking here. There are 19 I just became 20. 62 people currently watching. Come on, please. Just hit the like button. If you are watching the replay and you haven't hit it yet, you can literally just do that right now. And bravo for anybody who has lasted the full 75 minutes to finally hit the like button. If you're listening to the audio version, if you could please rate and review it wherever you listen, that would be helpful as well. A programming note, Andy and I are off next week. There will be no SorareAndrews podcast. So apologies already for that.
You've got your gym, tan, and laundry. Yes, you got your GTL to get to.
We are both going to the beach, separate beaches, and then we will be back the week.
No. We'll just tell everybody we're going to the same beach.
We're going on vacation together. It's an old person community.
Yeah,
that's what we're doing. So yeah, I will be back on Friday with Sean for the Sorare Data Strategy Show. Sean was hoping to replace me for next week's SorareAndrews, but you're gone anyway, so we can't do that. So I don't know if we're going to we might take both shows off next week. But thank you to everybody who continues to listen and watch. And hopefully you don't forget about us when we take our week off and you're just raring to go when we return. So thank you to everybody. And Andy, good luck this week.
Sounds good.